Hey, how's it going, guys? I don't know, I decided to just kind of switch up content here and do kind of something different, something more meaningful and actually has substance instead of just a funny, goofy video or, I don't know, something that's, something that has substance. And kind of decided just to talk about life, what's going on, fucking how I'm feeling, what thoughts that I've had currently and want to transpire. So I decided to kind of play this live, play it where, I'll be doing things in the game and going forth from there. And so, I've kind of decided just to kind of get there out there and start talking about, hey, what's, what I'm thinking currently. Uh, and that kind of goes forth, and I really want to talk about what it is when it comes to meaning. Like, meaning in the sense of, what is the grandiose grand design from me? What is the idea behind me? Like, when someone goes to my funeral, what was the epithesis, um the summary, the profound nature of your existence? The idea is that's like, I Mark per se. Look at same random character Mark. Mark, he was the best violinist known to man. He did things that no one were to talk about with the violin. He beat the devil. He went down to Georgia and he beat the devil at his own game. He was that cool, you know. That's kind of what I want to talk about. You know, what makes you you? What makes how you go forward from that? You know, like living is suffering, but to survive is you find meaning in that suffering. Nietzsche. Paraphrasing Nietzsche. That's not the actual quote per se. Don't quote that on me. Someone's gonna go out there and paraphrase and be like, hey, yo, this guy's a fucking retard. You can't even quote Nietzsche right. He's not a true nihilist. He's just like, shut up. I don't care. Go back to Roblox. Yo, fuck that. Did Beyblades to this game? Settle down. Anyways, but yeah, just meaning in life. It's where do you go from here? Where do you think about, I don't know, people with like debilitating injuries, people who, hey, I want to be the best basketball player out there, and then oh crap, I got hit by a car. I don't have any legs anymore. I can't do basketball. Where do you find meaning from that? Where do because your whole life going up to it, you want to be LeBron, right? You wanted to be Kobe, and you can't anymore because of where you've been, where you went and go. Like for me, I've been kind of going forward and been working on my degree for a while, and now I have to figure out where I want to go with my degree, where I want to, and with the CS market and everything. Do I want to be one of those people in job search hell where I'm gonna apply for a few thousands and thousands of jobs that, or at the end of it all, I'm going to kind of be paddling in this fucking verse of the void. Because that's what it is. Like, the one of the guys I actually talked to, which I graduated, he was up to 400 applications. So it's not really looking that great for him. But at the same time, you know, I've also seen cases where the people put in there, I graduated, LOL, with a 3 point, just a straight 3 GPA, and I'm not going to apply myself. I'm not going to do anything, and I'm just gonna bomb rush the market with applications, do things, you know. So I don't know. It's changed. Like it's not get off in a tangent of the CS market or anything like that. It's changed. Like it's changed of how you viewed the world, what actually happened, and what you as an individual have to change about your life. 2 fucking desert temples. Okay, like because if you don't change your life, like you kind of stuck in the same boat. You're stuck in the same ideal. Like you're not going anywhere if you don't change your life. And I mean, it could be, like interpersonal. Like you have to change what you value, like what you seeing, and what you have to go forward from there. Like if you don't have legs anymore, you can't do basketball, but maybe you could do something. Maybe you could be the best person at 2K. So, and it's also one of the things is like it's kind of interpersonal journey. Like you have to figure out like what you are capable of, you as an individual, and also like when you're evaluating yourself, which is it's a tricky boat. Like if you be very careful when you evaluate yourself, like that's a whole other video, a other topic, because I don't want to make this a 10-hour video about hey, you're fucking a low cortisol male, go fuck yourself. It's more the fact of like you need to understand yourself. You need to like not oversell or undersell yourself. Maybe oversell yourself a little bit, because you might get yourself in a position where you're like, oh shit, I actually didn't really underestimate what I could do in life, what I actually what I could have actually done. And like you don't want to be like, okay, well, the only thing I can do in life is I can work the 9 to 5, and that's it. Like I can, like, if you shouldn't undersell yourself in the aspect of like I can just do the basics. Like I can only do X, Y, and Z, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, like there are people out there that genuinely they can only do the X, Y, and Z, and like there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're planting your flag in life, when you're planting your goals and things like that, you should in a way oversell yourself just a little bit. Like you can't say, hey, you can't be 35 and be like, hey, I'm gonna be the billionaire. I'm gonna be the guy who's going to go. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna go and be Andrew Tate. I'm gonna, go and be a world boxer or fucking whatever. By the way, I don't really, subscribe to Andrew Tate's philosophy or anything like that. Just a person that came to mind. But it's one of those things where you have to really figure out what, when you have to reevaluate what's going on in your life or reevaluate who you are, you need just a really deep understanding of you as an individual, It's just a really deep reflection of yourself. Like it's how how you see life and everything forward from that. Because if you're not seeing life in a way that's bountiful, if you're not seeing yourself in a way that's like, oh, I actually don't want to do this, or I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. It's like, oh, crap. Now you have to go through, and it's like the insane thing. Like people will go through and they will be like, go through a full 12-year program as saying, hey, I want to be a doctor or a nurse or something. And then they get to the end of it all, it's just like, I fucking hate my job. I don't want to do this. but they're kind of stuck in that loop of, well, if I don't do this job, I'm going to be working a minimum wage job, which could possibly be shittier, or any type of job that could possibly be shittier. And I'm going to be paying off this debt. So you just spent 4 years of hard work to be behind everybody else. Like, in true honesty, that's what you kind of did. You spent 4 years just to kind of like check a box, and now you're stuck. You're genuinely stuck. But finding meaning is just going back to the individual, going back to you, What do you want? What do you want to do? The one thing, though, I will say is don't do a cop-out. I mean, like, do a cop-out in the sense of, like, well, I didn't get A, so I have to now, I have to do the second place prize. Like, I didn't want to go through the effort. I didn't want to go do, like, there's the reality of the situation. Like, going back to, the basketball example, he doesn't have legs. He's not going to play basketball. He's genuinely not, So him, like, quitting basketball and doing 2K or going into, like, what is it called? The, handicapped, I don't want to say handicapped basketball. There's an actual term for it, but, him doing, like, him doing basketball, like, there's the reality of the situation. Like, I physically cannot do basketball. I don't have legs. So, but, like, a genuine cop out in that example would be like, I'm just gonna get on disability and I'm going to be miserable and have someone just kind of, just take care of me for the rest of my life. Like, I mean, you should be working towards something in life. Anything, Like, in general, like anything. Like, you have to have some grandiose epicenter of, like, hey, and it could be, like, small. It genuinely could be small. Like, hey, I want to go and travel the world just a little bit, go to a few countries, or, I want a nice, quiet little house in the woods where no one will, like, where I don't have to really talk to anybody and just enjoy life. I mean, that could be it too. It's really up to you. It's up to you what you want and what you want to gain most of it, Just don't be one of those people, like, 20 years from now who's just hating life because you got stuck in the same job, stuck in the same ideals, stuck in the same... Is that another desert temple? Or is that the same one I just saw? Stuck in the same ideals you were fucking 20 years... Like, that's such a wasted life. A wasted life is you have the same exact thought process as you were in your, like, 20s and in your, like, teens. It is exactly the worst fucking thought process. Like, you have not changed at all. You have the same outlook, the same ideals, and you're not going to go anywhere. You're not, like, you're gonna have the same thought process, same ideals. You're just going to, and, like, there's the ego behind that too. It's just like, well, everything worked out for me. Like, cool. Your life's miserable though. You never risked anything. You never, like, went out and you lived the most vanilla life possible, and then you're sitting out here bragging about it. Like, You didn't adventure. You didn't actually go out. You didn't take any risks. You just kind of sat around and been quiet the whole entire time. But I think I'm gonna end it right there. You know, and this is just my ideas of finding meaning. You know, looking towards myself and looking towards what I need to change, what I need to go and look forward to, and where I can go from there. Anyways, y'all have a good day.